they work all that out feverishly, I should imagine. We're going to watch the next heat of the sprint cars heading out. Heat number 3 and the final run for them tonight. So it's one apiece to Colvin and also to Jason Scott. I can see Sam O'Callaghan, the Lakeland Glass 49T entry. He's lining up. So obviously they've got that, whatever it is, sorted. Just waiting for the water truck. Going to do another lap. Adam Evans in the 98T Hydrolink sponsored car. He'll be out first. As we said, Speedway is very, very much a family affair. As we see, the Evanses are involved. Next car out in the form of Nigel Colvin. You would have heard me talk about Ella Colvin earlier on in the youth mini stocks. Has a very similar paint scheme to that sprint car. As well, Dylan Jones, whose dad helps out with the Buchanans down there on the 43 entry. They've painted up his youth mini stock the same as Josh Buchanan's 6-shooter and sprint car. You'll also see that Terry Soper also has another car painted up like his. And the youth saloons down there in Dunedin. As well as when you go down the pits, ladies and gentlemen, if you get a chance to get down there, you'll see the kids of a lot of these drivers helping out, cleaning the cars after they come in. So we just wait for a couple of push bikes to come off the track before we fire up all of the sprint cars. Again, still an opportunity to grab some food. Go see Angela down there in the coffee cart. I had a beautiful coffee, flat white, just the way I like it. Every time it's perfect. So if you need a coffee, make your way round to the club rooms. Or if you think it's only 9 o'clock at night, Saturday night, the kids deserve a treat for being well behaved. Just go and see your parents and say, I think I need a Mr. Whippy, Mum or Dad. I've been good so far. So cars starting to get pushed away here now. Just a few to go before we get this one underway. 950 horsepower ready to get unleashed. So noticing a few different wing angles out there at the moment. Drivers can change those during the race. Sevrite, Scott is a little bit lower. So, one to go. Jack Brown to be pushed away in the 57 car. As again, just a few teething problems for that car, always away. Not a common combination with the LS3 in the front. So everything fits a little bit differently. So they're getting that car sorted out. So push trucks to the centre. Trevor's just doing the size 10.5 boot check on the surface, making sure it's A-OK. Doesn't take long for these cars to dissipate the water that's on the top of the clay. These big tyres also generate a lot of tyre spin, which creates heat, which dries out the track, as you'll see, especially in a feature race as it gets on. Starts to dry it out. Original grid positions have been called. So we're going to start seeing these cars line up now. Then we can tell you how they're going to shuffle off. It's going to be O'Callaghan's coming through, Buchanan's coming through, Severite coming through, just to line up, make up that top 6 at the front. So, barring any changes, it's going to look like the last heat winner in the form of Jason Scott. He's going to start off inside front row. Outside will be Jack Brown. Inside of row number 2, it's going to be Nigel Colvin. Looks like it's going to be Severite. 14 pulls up next to him on the outside of row number 2. Row number 3, Josh Buchanan. Inside, Sam O'Callaghan outside. And then the 4 newbies at the back will be Stephen Scholes first, then Jacob McIntyre, Adam Evans, and Smolenski will be off the back in this one. They get the 1-lap signal as they head down to turn number 1. It's the quiet before the thunder as they head down towards turn number 3. It'll be Jack Brown to control this one round. Jason Scott needs to stick with him. Green flag at the ready. Not much in it between them this time, and away they go. Who's going to get the run? 57 cars, certainly not sluggish off the line with the LS3, but it's Jason Scott who pulls out in front. Colvin's next, then Brown, then Buchanan, then O'Callaghan, then Severite. And Adam Evans makes a move on Jacob McIntyre as Jason Scott leads him away down to turn number 1. Colvin, he's going to work hard to get past the King of Cromwell. As they head down to turn number 3 for the second time, there's about 4 cars in it, but then there's about 10 back to Jack Brown, who's just been overtaken through 3 by Slam and Sam O'Callaghan. He's had a mixed up night. He wants to make amends for it. But another move that's, Colvin has a bit of a moment out of 2, drops back about 6 car lengths. As we watch Adam Evans starting to wind up the 98 car. He's up in the 4th position off that back. Sam O'Callaghan throws it down the inside of Colvin through 2. Manages to get the pass done. We've got a couple of cars in trouble. Big trouble. And Severite's lost the left front wheel off the 14 car. Looks like he's had a coming together with an 87 of Jacob McIntyre. Bit of smoke and a bit of flame under the back of that car. They'll get on it pretty quickly. There's a gas tank right above it. So the left front completely sheared off. Tyre and assembly off that 14 car. So I missed it. This is watching the leaders head down towards 1. But Jacob McIntyre also parked on the infield. The problem is extinguished at the back of that car. Good to see. Crash crew straight onto it. So this is how they're lining up for the restart. Jason Scott out in front. Colvin, who had that moment down in turn number 2, now right on the rear bar of the 86. Great drive by Adam Evans to be in 4th. Then we'll go back to Jack Brown. 1 more backs, Josh Buchanan. Then Stephen Scholes. Then we go back to Smolenski. As we watch Jacob McIntyre's car just pushed a little bit further into the concrete area. They've just picked up the front of Severite's car and they'll tow that over to the same position. Fastest thus far. And not by much. Jason Scott on a 15.04. Nigel Colvin's next on a 15.08. Then we'll slide back down to Adam Evans. Impressive on a 15.56. I'm not sure that Mark's going to get that car back anytime soon. He'll have to crowbar Adam out of it, I should imagine. As everybody jostles for position. Just trying to work out when the yellows came out where they were. O'Callaghan moves in front of Brown. Back in the 3rd position. Severite's car enters a concrete area in the middle. So yellow lights out. Green flag's going to go through the fence. Jason Scott's going to bring him round through 3 and 4. Green flag's going to drop. Oh, look there. Everybody wants to go. Colvin went a little bit early. Fires it down to 1 and 2. Jason Scott manages to hold on to first position. Oh, Colvin. He's too high under 2. Sam O'Callaghan can't capitalise on it, but he's going to make an end. Men's for it down into turn 3 and 4. Sam O'Callaghan rockets through to second position. Colvin back to third. There's a fight going on between Adam Evans and Jack Brown for fourth. Adam Evans wins out of turn 2. Brown next, then Buchanan. Jason Scott's got it out in front. Just over Colvin or just over O'Callaghan by about 4, then about 8 or 9 back to Colvin. Adam Evans doing a great job to wind the 98 T-car up down towards turn number 3. Colvin has a little moment as he comes out of 4, but out the front, it's Scott and O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan's about a car length behind now down to 3. Gives a little bit more gas, try to get the upper hand on Scott down there, and it looks like he's managed to do it. They're side by side, but Scott holds first place down into turn number 1. O'Callaghan, great job, but falls back 3 or 4 through 2. Adam Evans starts to climb up towards the back bar of Colvin. Back markers into the mix now. O'Callaghan gets past Scott down into turn number 4. Oh, they're muscling their way through. There was contact there. He pushes O'Callaghan out of the way, does Scott. O'Callaghan comes back on the inside of 3. Scott round the outside. Yellow gone out. We've got a car spun, and it's Jack Brown right in the middle of turn number 4. Well, I've got to say, there's no love lost between Jason Scott and Sam O'Callaghan. There was almost like fisticuffs down there in turn number 2. No one was giving way. So we'll just have to see how this all lays out again once they've got Jack Brown going. It's certainly a fight on here tonight. The edge parts and performance. 86T of Jason Scott going hard against a Lakeland Glass entry. The 49T. So Colvin still sitting in third position. I think the drive of the night has to go to Adam Evans so far. He's now sitting in 4th position. Josh Buchanan back in 5th. And then it looks like it's Smolinski there. Brown, and they're away. Oh, the green come out pretty quick. I'm not sure if anybody's caught napping. I'd say Colvin may have been. Adam Evans goes round the outside into 2, gets a little bit high, keeps his foot up it. Josh Buchanan wants a shot at that spot. Down to 3, Josh Buchanan on the inside, Adam Evans on the outside. Colvin manages to hold on. White flag out for O'Callaghan. Scott in 2nd position. The fight's going to go on for 3rd and 4th. Can Adam Evans get it up over Colvin as they head down to turn number 3? Not sure he's close enough. Josh Buchanan, he wants in the mix as well. Overcooks it. Josh Buchanan overcooks it. Manages to get it across the pole line. But it'll be O'Callaghan first, Scott, then Colvin, then Adam Evans, Josh Buchanan, Jack Brown, Smolinski, Scholes will round it out. As I said, that was a hard fight towards the end there. But a great effort by Adam Evans. Jumps in that sprint car. He's only had a couple of goes on some fun days. And he manages to bring it home. 4th position. As I said, might have trouble, Mark, getting that car back, mate. So that's your sprint cars for tonight. Next up's going to be the 6 shooters. And if you want to see a quicker than Bathurst pit stop change for a driver, you're going to watch Josh Buchanan, who's going to leap out of a 43T sprint car straight into his 43T 6 shooter. And if you want to see some of the great images from tonight's race, and Troyden Finlay's down there. He's got some great shots of Paddy's North car. You can follow Troyden's photography. A couple of ways. Jump on the Facebook of faded.co.nz. You can follow on Instagram at Faded Photography NZ, or go to the www.faded.co.nz and look at some of the great shots that Troyden gets while he is around the track, whether it's the outside or the inside. And sometimes I think he hangs upside down, I'm not sure. And he is a part of the live streaming here tonight, as we watch Jacob McIntyre being pushed off the track. I'm sure that's not going to be his last foray into sprint cars.